So let's talk about the source of that capital also.
Yeah.
We have a bunch of investors that are watching this video. So what is sort of their incentive, and how do you sort of accept that? Let's talk about that structure a little bit.
Yeah, we're a little unique in the sense that we're not a fund. We're not organized as a fund, so there are no management fees and carry that our investors need to worry about or consider. And we raise capital where primarily from high net worth individuals, family offices who want to get exposure to this early stage asset class. But up until this point, they've been maybe doing some angel investing, here and there. They're not writing big enough checks to get into the large, funds. So, and they don't necessarily have the infrastructure to really do this type of investing in a strategic way. And so they'll invest money into Nex Cubed, own a piece of Nex Cubed, and so by extension, a piece of our entire portfolio, investments that we made on day one all the way till today. And so they don't have to worry about whether they're in fund one, fund two, fund three. It's all in one holding. And when there's a liquidity event in the portfolio, we pull that back into the holding company and then distribute the proceeds out pro rata to our shareholders. So there's an opportunity for that ongoing liquidity. There's no kind of 5-10 year lockup, none of that. They can start, seeing some of that money come back to them in the form of a dividend, if you will.
Absolutely. And that structure is so interesting because your portfolio is publicly available. People can see the companies you're invested in. So they already get a sense of what it will be like to invest with you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fantastic. Now, what is sort of the minimum investment, and how are you sort of approaching, what kind of investors you take in? Let's talk about some of those details.
Yeah. And so, on average, our kind of average investment is in that $250K range, but we've accepted investments, smaller than that amount, and we have investors who invest in millions into the company. So there is a wide range. I think more so than the amount is we are building a network and a community, and so there are other ways that people can add value to us beyond the size of their check. We obviously, it's good for them to have some sort of skin in the game and in that way. But if they're telling us, hey, look, I'm willing to serve as an advisor or as a mentor and, put in some sweat, equity, we'll oftentimes take some of those, smaller checks because we think that the person, the individual would be a great add to the overall network. But that kind of community network, aspect is so critical for us because not only from a way to support our portfolio, but many times those are the individuals who are supporting our companies after they leave our program, right? Because they're typically looking for 25, 50K, checks. Now they've had a chance to really get to know the company through Nex Cubed. And you mentioned my colleague Harut, who heads up our investor relations, is in contact with all of our investors, keeping them updated on our portfolio. But since currently Nex Cubed, we're not doing any follow-on funding directly into the companies. Oftentimes it's our investor community who they've now seen the company for 4 months. They went to demo day. They're the ones who are actually helping our companies get funded post-graduation. And as a result of this model, we've been able to help our companies have raised over, $100 million either during or after our program. So on average, we've done 80 investments. So on an average, our companies are raising about $1 million, which, again, for where they are and what they need, that's the great bridge for them to then go out and raise their first Series A, type round. So, I hope that I
Yeah,
rambled
no,
a little
that's
bit
absolutely,
sometimes.
that's fantastic because investors are looking, once they get to know the company, the CEO, see them for 4 months, they want to build that relationship. And once they have that relationship, they're happy to invest, continue to support that company after
Hmm.
they leave Next Cube. So
Wow.
that's a fantastic model. As far as investors, what else should we know about the structure and about, the process that they go through?
Yeah, I think, if you think about it as a index fund ETF type model where, like you said, it's not a blind pool. You get to see what's in the portfolio, whether you invested day one or today. You're going to gain a piece of all of that, and then everything we're doing into the future. And so that ability to hedge your bets, if you will. If you are looking to start investing in this early class, you get an opportunity to get curated deal flow, over it, almost 80 investments in the portfolio to date. And we're, as we add more cohorts, that number will increase. And then it's, are you looking to do direct deals? And you'll have the opportunity to really pick and choose the ones that you like, that you want to continue to support, and you'll have access to those deals in a way that you wouldn't have if you were just out on the coming in cold. And
Right.
so our portfolio know that kind of the first folks that they need to answer the door for are friends of the program. And oftentimes we're the ones who are helping to facilitate those interactions. So I would say for the investor that's looking to mitigate their risk and wants to gain exposure to kind of pre-seed, seed stage deals, that this index fund type structure gives them a way to dip their toe in the water and then look for other opportunities to double down.
Absolutely. Fantastic. So now let's go back to the founders a little bit because I have the final question for you. And I ask all of the investors this last question because I think it's so important for founders who are listening to this to walk away with an action step. So what is the most important thing that the founders need to have or have done before they reach out to NextCube? That's the one thing that you look for in that first conversation. If they haven't done it, that's it. The conversation's over right off the bat. So what is that one thing for you?
Yeah, for me, and it could be different for some of my colleagues who are also on the investment committee. But I would say, like, really know your business. Like, you understanding your markets, understanding your competition, and not that it's you're saying, hey, we don't have any competition, or we've kind of figured everything out, so you don't need to worry about it.